What is good, everybody? We're live. I thought I'd do a little live Q&A. As long as the cat does not pull down the thing. So what's up, Alan? I hope you're having an awesome day. I'm having a fucking great day. The wife and I are going to go out tonight and celebrate Halloween. I'm going to dress as jeez, the cat wants attention now. Yes. Whenever I get on camera, this is our original cat. This is Mr. Kitty. Say hello. No. Okay. Whenever I get on camera, he wants attention immediately. Anyway, but no, tonight we're going to celebrate Halloween. I'm going to go as Riddick, and she is going to go as Emma Swan from the show Once Upon a Time, and we're going to have a good time. There's like in the area we live in Southwest Florida. I know, I see it. There is like these pub crawls, you know, it's like trolley things, everything like that. So we have meow, no shit. We have pretty what we would call freedom here in Southwest Florida, and there's the cat just went to see the wife because that's the important thing. Casey the most, how the fuck you doing? Jessica, yeah, Mr. Kitty's there. So I thought I'd do like a quick weight loss Q&A, discuss anything weight loss, discuss just about anything. I did want to let everybody know, probably on Monday is the next episode of the Gains Cast. Mark and I are going to be broadcasting that. We are hoping to get the Gains Cast put onto Spotify as a visual thing too, like actual visual like recording there. So we will be able to not have to depend upon YouTube and what they think is positive, negative, everything like that. We'll be able to actually just say whatever the fuck we want to say. So that's very, very good, because right now, even though I very much fucking hate it, there's a lot of shit you cannot fucking say on YouTube if you want to keep your fucking channel. I mean, you just can't. So Lisa, for those people that can't see, she's on Facebook, because you can watch us on both ways when I do these live Q&As. Good morning. I'm really loving the Gains Cast. You and Mark are doing. Mark and I are really happy with how we're presenting this stuff. We have gotten very good feedback from a lot of people, and I just got to be real. I'm not. It is the way it fucking is, people. Like, I have many people on here that are upset with me because I've said the same shit from the very beginning of all this fucking idiocy, and I will fucking stick by it. And I have data to prove it. Now, here's what people I think fall in line with. Here's the thing that I think people have an issue with. It's the fact that no matter what, even if everything was super, like everything they said it was, I still don't believe that's worth freedom. Like, just to be real, like, there's no number you could name me that would be worth other people's freedoms. But anyway, Jessica's really been enjoying the podcast too. Outstanding. I've started talking about my workouts. I've started taking my workouts more seriously. Let's see. Started taking my workouts more seriously since the first of this month, along with a strict diet, and I've been doing pretty well. But why do I weigh more during the night, sometimes even by 2 kilograms? Why are you weighing yourself that often? If you're doing healthy actions, if you're having healthy actions, you should not be weighing yourself even daily, especially if you're a woman. Women's weight fluctuates a lot because they have different hormones than men too. And they have larger natural levels of adipose tissue. So you should not be weighing yourself that much. Daily is way too much for people. Daily is way, way, way too much for people. So my suggestion is to not worry about the things like that. You said you're on a very strict diet. That is also an issue many, many times. Like, if you are on a very strict diet, it oftentimes leads to overeating down the road. My suggestion to you is to make sure that you're trying to live a life. Try to just not eat processed foods. Try that first. Try all the vegetables, all the fruits, all the meats you can. Try all that stuff first. The strict diet where people are just like, I'm going to eat 1,200 calories and I'm going to work out 4 hours a fucking day. What you eat makes up an important part, because what you eat is usually heavy on protein, heavy on fats. Those are the 2 essentials. Carbohydrates are not even essential. But if you're going to take in carbohydrates, maybe take them in from vegetable sources instead of processed carbohydrates like flour and fucking sugar and shit like that. So the weight fluctuation could just be hydration and stuff like that. But the other tips are what are still sound, are still sound. I keep getting food cravings, I'm assuming, even when I'm not feeling hungry. Have you got a quick tip that will help us change behavior to keep in mind mind wanders to food? there are multiple different types of hunger. There is biological gut hunger. There is hormone-triggered hunger, like insulin gets released in your body and stuff like that. And then there's just the emotional attachment we have to food. And a lot of times when people get stressed, they seek out these things because they're looking for a dopamine spike. I would try to control your stress levels as much as humanly possible. I always have some water sitting by, or coffee, something like that. But I would take a step back, sit back, and analyze your situation. How was your sleep? How was your, was it quality? Was it long enough? How was your hydration earlier that day and the day before? How are your stress levels? What was your meal like for your meal like beforehand? Because like you want to see if you're actually sustained, if you actually are hungry. So if you just eat a meal 2 hours afterwards, I suggest this to everybody, all of our clients go through this. If you eat something 2 hours after, you should see how that makes you feel, like the complete relationship of food that makes you feel. You should ask yourself, am I satiated? Am I satisfied? Am I bloated? Do I feel high energy? Do I feel lethargic? Like certain foods make your body feel certain ways. They incite different biological responses in your body, and you should keep track of all these things and build up the mental association with them. It's the same thing. Like that's how I actually quit drinking alcohol. Like I will probably have an alcoholic beverage tonight for the first time in a while. But because we're gonna have a specialized drink at one of the places that we go to, that's just one drink. But the reason being is I realized that alcohol was negatively affecting my performance in my workouts, but also making me feel lethargic the next day, everything like that, and a little cravey. So I built up what I consider a positive mental association with alcohol, that it does not make me feel very well. That's a positive thing, Same thing with other foods. You want to make sure you're taking in all the information that's provided when it comes to how food makes you feel, bloated, satiated, that sort of thing. Anyway, how would you recommend getting past sugar addiction? Realize it's an addiction. A lot of people don't realize it's an actual addiction, and then when people start feeling a little bit even sideways about it, then they fucking kind of give up on it. You know what I mean? We do have people chart their progress. Hydration is normal. You gotta hydrate. You gotta sleep. All the basic key elements of hydration, stress relief, sleep. You've got to I really think that most people that are addicted to sugar just need to abstain. You don't try other sugar light items. Like I don't know any alcoholic that drinks O'Doul's that does not fall back into being drinking full beer full time. Like if you have an addiction to it, treat it like it's an addiction. Most people don't. I caught the last episode. It was very entertaining and full of the truth. Thank you very much. Did you see? Yeah, Mocking Freedom. The reality is I want to do some weight loss stuff. Mark and I, I'm sure, will talk about that stuff. I'm not going to shy away from it. I think he's a fucking idiot. I really am. But like the idea is I want to make sure that this channel stays up for people that want to talk about health also. And that's why I'm doing a weight loss Q&A now. Sometimes I'll do a Q&A, ask me anything. But I did see it. It's fucking ridiculous. If you're still buying into this shit, I'm sorry. I don't know what to fucking tell you. But let me see here. I recently started a side hustle. It's fun but stressful. And as a result, I've been careless about what I eat. When I was pretty on point with a diet a month ago. Techniques to combat this. The thing is, a diet is a temporary change in behaviors. You need to build up a systemic way of how you're going to eat. So a systemic habit of like when you're going to eat, how you're going to eat, the foods that make up the majority of how you're going to eat, and then have a few occasions of just having some things that are seen as just pleasure, like alcohol is just for pleasure. Things with sugar in it are just for pleasure. Things with processed carbohydrates, for the most part, are just for pleasure. There's not really a necessity to have one. Hang on, make sure I'm not going to yank this thing out. There we go. Damn it, Jim. Give me 1 second. Oh, that's not going to be good. If it's unplugged, it will definitely run out of juice. So there we go. All right, we're good to go now. I keep getting food cravings. I think you asked that, and then it came up again. Thank you very much, Rebecca. It's amazing. You have remained consistent in everything you've said about masking, social distancing, obesity, and are demonized. But the experts change their mind every day and are praying. I'm going to point out, and thank you very much, Rebecca. But I'm also going to point out that I've been right the entire time. Like I remember people like screaming and yelling at me about like it does not have the estimated IFR of the flu, and it does. It just does. In Florida, it was actually less. The overall in Southwest Florida estimated IFR on the World Health Organization website is 0.08. And that was the original version. It's just fucking sad. And I just, where I start the basis of everything from is freedom. So people should have the freedom to choose. People that are afraid have the freedom to stay the fuck home. If they've always had the freedom just to stay the fuck home, they really, really have. The second it got passed, it started. It was about not overloading the healthcare system, which is an understandable thing, a triage type thing, right? But when we realized that wasn't going to happen, especially in places like Florida and all like that, then there's no fucking. That's the end. Like now, you're just trying to fleece people, like what people choose to get sick with. I personally, any virus that I have a good or disease that I have a good chance of recovering from, I want to get over, so I have the natural immunity for it. That's what having a naturally strong immune system is for, type thing. But thank you, I appreciate you. As of yesterday, I lost a total of 75 pounds and counting. Casey, fucking great job, man. Fucking great job. You've been very fucking consistent. Very fucking consistent. Let's see. I weigh myself twice a month, the gym in the morning after drinking half a quart of water, 2 cups of coffee after doing number 1 and number 2. Okay. Have you ever tried mesquite powder? It's supposed to be a low no sugar substitute. I have not. The thing is, don't get your body trained to not need the substitution, as far as I'm concerned. That's where people get in the fucking issue, is that they don't want to give it up. It's the same thing as how vegans eat fake meat. In your mind still recognizes it as meat. Just the same way, when you ingest something sweet, your mind still recognizes it's sweet. So you're gonna want more and more and more of that. Most people that are already addicted to sugar just chase the dopamine spike release, I'm starting to work out and eat healthy, and I feel so much better. Good for you. And I have a new gym membership, and I'm not sure how to train for fat loss. How should I start this journey? Do I need a certain routine, or should I just find something on the internet? You should find what you like to do the very most and do it consistently. You should, if you just got a new gym membership and you've never even tried any of the equipment or any of the or any lifting at all, you should go to the gym and see if they have a complimentary walkthrough, at least, of how to use each piece of equipment. And then you can get a variety of anything you want. Meaning you can just do a loop of their circuit when most gyms are set up with a circuit, or you can see if they have a base level thing for you. I personally people tie fitness and people tie their health way too much to a gym. Just to be real, just for those of you out there, and by the way, I'm gonna post up. We are still running our 3-month special. Whoops, almost fucked up. We are still running our 3-month special. There it is, right there. It's the pinned comment up above. That's where my wife, myself, we talk to people on a daily basis on our app, weekly video conference calls. This is a radically reduced price for gluttony season. So if you are one of those people out there that gains an extra 15 to 20 pounds every holiday season and are worried that this season's weight gain is going to be the thing that pushes you over the edge to possibly have negative outcomes of all sorts of shit we got going on, please take us up on that. It's a radically reduced price, and we do have several openings. So please check that out, and we can help you out with that. But as for you, who are just, let's see here. Boom, back to Kayla. Find the thing you like to do. We have many clients for us that do not even go to the gym. The gym is not even in their life. They walk or swim. Some people, we just work it into their daily regimen. I personally think that the exercise that's best for you for fat loss is the exercise you're going to do consistently and constantly. We have people focus on just getting to the habit of moving their body 30 minutes a day. It always amazes me. We get some people that are just like, well, 30 minutes a day, I don't have time for a 30-minute walk. If you do not have time for a 30-minute walk, if you can't get up and walk your body for 30 minutes, I don't know anybody that's that busy. I'm what people would consider a very busy person. It is Saturday morning. My wife and I have worked for about 6 hours already today. I'm going to work for another couple hours before we then prep food and do all sorts of shit like that. I work 7 days a week, 365 days a year, oftentimes even on vacation, and I still find time to exercise. And people can say, well, that's part of your job. And that is absolutely true. The extra exercise I do to maintain other levels of fitness, that's part of the job. If it was just for health, I would just make sure I got my walks in. I would just make sure I got walking in, activity, and I would watch my good nutrition. Fat loss, as you're asking about, happens through nutrition. So your nutrition on point and just consistent movement of your body will help with fat loss. I hope that answers your question. Best way to get off sugar is just to stop. I completely agree with that. Go cold turkey. I completely agree. Greetings. Of course, I try to catch a vid and my phone starts ringing. Sorry about that. Lisa, this is really hard time of year for me, holidays and birthdays. In the past, I would take a break. I'm close to 40 pounds, no going back. Like I said, Lisa, we do have some coaching slots available, and it's a radically discounted price. So please do check that out. I cut sugar out completely. The best thing I ever did. It is an amazing thing. Once you get through it, we've had so many people that have quit sugar, and they're not only do they go off their diabetes medications, but they also go off blood pressure medications, anxiety medications, stuff like that. It really helps them out. The cat is attacking me because I'm not paying attention to him. Anyway, I've been off sugar for the last 6 years. I have a cheat meal or snack with sugar, instant stomach ache. I have to really watch that too. Like that's another reason why I think that alcohol messes with my stomach now, is because the cat got in the catnip. That's why he's all fucked up. Anyway, sorry. But I think that's another reason why alcohol messes with me too. Oops. Long time wasn't tuned in. It's a pleasure always. Thank you very much, Casey. Thanks, brother, you for dropping truth bombs on me months ago. Good for you, motherfucker. And thank you very much. You don't owe me shit. You owe yourself health. You don't owe me shit. Good job. How's the Hunger Express coming on? Are you still working on it? We are still working on it. I'm going to sneeze, so if I exit screen allergies are crazy. It is coming along. We have the new logo done up, and things are going on very, very, very well. Mark and I will be talking about a lot more here in the next couple weeks. It is amazing. 4 ingredients at their patented, human tested doses. So fucking proud of it, because it is truly hater proof. Like the ingredients in it are at their clinical shown doses to help with weight loss, reduce hunger, mobilize visceral fat, things of that. It is non-stimulant based. There's no stimulant. There's no people cannot people can continuously take it. They can take it with other things. There's no disruption of how your sleep pattern, anything like that. It just kind of works on your hunger. I'm very fucking pleased with it. The product is fucking top notch. The second one we're working on is something for blood sugar regulation and inflammation control, and that one's fucking top notch too. I'm very fucking pleased with that one too. No Morbidity is going to make a big impact in 2022. You watch, and it's hopefully launch before then, but we're going to make a big impact. Hi, Alan. Do you have any advice for anyone who wants to pursue a personal training career? Don't. Here's the thing: personal coaching, personal training at gyms. I can't imagine what they're going through now, but you need multiple revenue streams. A personal trainer, like just at a gym, it's very hard to make a living off of. Now, if you wanted to have it as a side hustle, go to it and everything like that. But I would never like I had a full roster of clients when I was a personal trainer a couple of years ago after I left the healthcare industry while we were still doing this. Worked like 40 hours a week doing that plus this, and it would still not have been enough without this. So, Alan, do you do anything to increase your testosterone levels? Right now, I'm testing out a patented fenugreek extract, and we might put it in a future product. And I'm on an estrogen blocker for my doctor, and I'll probably go on TRT here in about another 4 or 5 months when my doctor says so. So, but besides that, no. I used to take DHEA though. For many, many years, I took DHEA. I don't suggest it to anybody. Talk to your doctor if you have problems with your levels. Have them see about what you should do nutritionally first. Exercise, that helps out, but also then if you need hormone replacement therapy, you need hormone replacement therapy. But you're kind of young, so I wouldn't think you would. Alan, my girlfriend says I curse like you when I talk about the healthy obesity crisis. Good. Everybody should. It should be on everybody's fucking mind. I'm so thankful for your coaching, Crystal's classes, and the support. I'm down over 20 pounds, down from size 18 to 12 and feel amazing. Jessica, you are doing amazing. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Just because fitness is your job doesn't mean you can't enjoy it. Absolutely. I enjoy it too. But at the same time, it can be a job. I love the channel. I love how you call out healthy exercise. It's dangerous advice put out. It really is. Like, I don't know how it's I don't know how it's legal. I mean, it's obviously like it's against the terms of service agreement on every social media platform. Like watching people engorge themselves while very clearly ill. Like fucking this, like Nikado Avocado is like he is fucking ill. Like I mean, he's ill, and we're pretending like he is not. It's kind of crazy. I mean, I don't get it. 1 second here. I gotta make sure this doesn't. Okay, there we go. But I don't understand how he's calling himself disabled, and yet from his obesity, pretty much, and yet we're still fucking showing him everything like that. I wanted to post this up again. Boom. There is the coaching deal, in case everybody was worried about it or wondering about it. Well, everyone got a great mindset in here. Let's make unhealthy overweight illegal. You know, I don't think it should be illegal, but we should definitely view overweight people, and we should definitely view obesity as a disease. It is a systemic disease that is hurting our country, hurting people in our country. The demonization of fat people is not going to help anybody. It's just like the demonization of alcoholics does not help them. The demonization of any type of addict does not help them, or anybody with an illness does not help them, right? Like we need to change our mind frames and admit to ourselves as a society that obesity is a disease, and it is a systemic disease that is causing more disease. It causes a weakening of society that we then need to fix. We need to help fix. My point is that nothing gets fixed when we ignore it. Like we're ignoring it as an issue right now. We're ignoring it as a problem right now, and that is very dangerous, especially with what's going on in the world. You know, like a lot of people, you know, I get accused of a lot of things in this last couple of years, like a conspiracy. Like I keep getting people like somebody keeps posting like you act like COVID doesn't even exist. No, it fucking exists, people. It absolutely exists. Okay, the thing is, unless you're old or obese or high risk, it's not something super stressed about. Like nothing is ever worth freedom. I'm going to say that right away. But like if we had tackled the obesity epidemic beforehand, there would be no freak out, because we knew early that the people that were doing the passing away with this were fucking elderly people and obese people. You know, it's just reality. You know, we should see obesity as the disease it is. It is not sexy. I'm sorry, but it is not. It is not this thing. We do not need normalization of it. Like I got into a little thing on Twitter with somebody earlier where they're talking about how the average height guy should weigh about 200 is good. 200 for the average dude who's 5'9", 5'10" is fat as fuck. I mean, for the average dude that sits down most of the day at a fucking desk job and fucking then sits in his car and goes and gets fucking Big Macs and then fucking sits and watches his TV, gets very little activity with low muscle mass, that's fat as fuck. A 200-pound guy at 5'10" is a fat fuck. I mean, they're obese because they have very low muscle mass, very low. Like I weigh like 190 right now, and I'm considered a larger muscle guy at my age. We need to stop viewing this as like they just got a few extra pounds. No, like a 250-pound dude, most 250-pound dudes need to lose anywhere between 70 and 90 pounds. Like right fucking now. Like a 6-foot male the average 6-foot male that has low activity levels should weigh probably about 170 pounds. 6 foot. It's just, we've so skewed it. I mean, it's because, we have a generation of people that is the main consumers of media right now. The main consumers of media right now are a generation of people that can't be fucking told that there's anything wrong with them without fucking breaking into hysterics because they feel attacked. If you're a fat fuck, you've made yourself that way. You've eaten yourself that way. Do something about it because it's unhealthy, and there's not a debate about it. It's just not. Like, you can claim you're healthy all you want. People can try to reword studies all they want. People can try to say whatever the fuck they want. But if you're fucking obese, you're obese. You're not healthy. Like, I would gladly have this discussion with you while we walk a couple miles, and let's see how you fucking do. If you can't walk a few miles as a human being, when we are evolved from a species of hunting and gathering our food on a daily fucking basis, you are the weakest member of the pack. You're in the weak members of the pack. It just happens, Is calorie counting necessary? Do you think intuitive eating works? if you're only eating unprocessed foods. Calorie counting is an excellent way if you have no idea the calories that are in stuff. It's an excellent way to teach yourself what's in the calories. Eating unprocessed foods, depending on their preparations, can still be fucking highly caloric. So you should still understand what's in them. If you ask me, it still should be a thing where you understand what's in them. Now, we have people come to us with calorie count. We'll give them a range of calories because I don't like the one line thing. Like it says I need 1,800 calories, blah blah blah, and then the person like will fucking kill themselves to try to get right around 1,800 calories. That's a range for lots of reasons. Most calorie counters are just random wild guesstimates. They're within like 25% effectiveness, and a lot of that is like how people eyeball up food, how people guess what's in certain recipes. It also has a big thing to do with the fact that like no two pieces of meat or no two pieces of food have the same nutritional content. A piece of red meat that has a higher fat, like two pieces of red meat from the same type of cut could have radically different fat content, changing their calories tremendously. You know, so that's the thing. Like, I mean, like they're a good tool to learn from, but they're not the systemic thing. And very realistically, they should be weaned off of after you've learned the information, because I've seen plenty of people fall off or they go back to old habits because they stop using that. So it's something that like can be worked into, used as a learning tool, and then out of. When you go off sugar for a while, you realize how naturally sweet some foods can be. Man, sweet potatoes are sweet to me right now. Oops. I've narrowed down my diet to meat, eggs, fruit, veggies, and dairy, cottage cheese, plain yogurt, but I still get huge cravings before bed. Advisable to just eat more throughout the day. I would take a look at what you're eating. It depends on where your weight's at. I mean, it's hard for me to gear just off of what you just told me. I would put, if you're still hungry in the evening, I would check out what you ate at dinner to see if you maybe trigger some response, because if you eat a substantial dinner, it should fill you out for the next 6 hours if you're still awake, and then you go. Like I personally, I don't eat, like today I'll probably eat like within like a 3 or 4 hour window. So, I mean, for me, it's a little different, but I also don't experience hunger the way you guys experience it because I'm on my product. But I would check out what you're eating at dinner to see if it's triggering you, or to see if it was substantial enough or anything like that. And let's see. Trying to think about exercise in a more healthy manner. My mind automatically goes to how many calories I'm burning rather than just enjoyment and taking my body back. You should absolutely make sure that you are doing exercise that you enjoy for the sake of enjoyment. Absolutely. You should be doing something that you like to do, that you just build a habit of doing, because you're going to have to do that for a long fucking time. For testosterone, get the proper amount of sleep, huge difference. Absolutely. Also make sure you're getting the proper essential bodily fats. Like amino acids and fatty acids are very important for hormone production. UK voted against putting calories in all takeaway food because of how it would make people feel with eating disorders. I'm shocked by this. I'm not shocked by that at all. I mean, I personally think that it's just people not wanting to, like, they know they're ill. They just don't want to admit it. It's fucking sad. It really is. Watching other people eat makes me nauseous. I'm so bad that you guys are talking about the avocado guy. This is a good point, because it's average doesn't mean it's normal. That's the truth. We're healthy. Right? People are like, the average male weighs this and that. The average male is a fat fuck. The average male has like the average like 21-year-old male has the testosterone levels of what a 67-year-old male had 20 years ago. A bunch of weak, pampered fucking people. It's fucking kind of sad. See here. Obesity is a sexual disease since leprosy. Ooh, that's painful. Everyone that's lifting and eating healthy, remember your mind is your strongest muscle. Absolutely, very fucking good. Cherry tomatoes are now very sweet to me. They're very sweet to me also. Everyone should buy some Instapots and for green split peas and beans. It's a massive time saver. You can shower and do chores. I love Instapots. Fucking my Instapot is like, I use it weekly. And I think I skipped a few things I want to talk about. Oops. When I was at my heaviest, I remember you saying, find an activity you like to keep at it. I got back into boxing. I box and lift weights 4 to 6 times a week. Thank you for helping me get off my ass and be real. Lisa, that's awesome. I'm happy that you found that, because that's what people don't understand. Like, this is, people go on these diets and they go on these regimens and think that that's what's going to do to get them to the weight that they'll be happy at. When in fact, what you're going to do and how you're going to do it is how you're going to have to fucking live. Like, that's just truth. That's how you're going to fucking live. You're not going to be able to just diet. Like, you can't leave eating bullshit and then all of a sudden get to the weight you want to be at by dieting, by stopping eating bullshit, going back to eating bullshit afterwards and expect to stay at the same weight. It's stupid. I mean, I understand that people are like, oh, it's diet industry and all like that. No, that's just stupidity to a certain degree. I mean, it just is. Like, you're eating in a way that's going to cause you to be 300 pounds. You all of a sudden eat half of that, so you lose 100 fucking pounds. And then you go back to eating in a way that makes you the same way you ate before. You're going to weigh 300 fucking pounds again. It's just fucking, that's why people need to deal with their fucking shit, deal with their fucking issues. And they need to find a way to live with the food they're going to eat in a happy fucking way. That's why, like, all of our clients, like right now we're doing holiday prep. All of our clients. What are the holidays going to look like? How are you going to make sure you just indulge on that day? Because for many people that aren't addicted to sugar, just indulging on one day is healthy. Like, you don't need to do everything that's healthy for you all the fucking time. I certainly fucking don't. I'm going to have a beer. I'm going to have, not a beer, but I'm going to have a beverage tonight. You know, like, sometimes we do shit just for pleasure. That's why it's important to see food and entertainment that way. There are foods that are healthy for you that are eaten for nourishment. That's what they're viewed as. There are foods that are eaten just for pleasure. Things with processed flour, things with processed sugar, cakes, donuts. Those things have no nutritional value to them that is important to you besides being pleasurable. That's it. Because you do not even need carbohydrates. You don't. Now, does that mean should you shy away from them? No, take in carbohydrates and veggies and stuff like that. Our bodies just don't process carbohydrates very well because they're artificial. Basically, even in how they're ingested, they're artificial, and they cause huge spikes in different hormones and happy feelings and stuff like that in the body that can be addictive and cause biological and physiological and mental responses to food that over a long period of time cause disease. It's just the way it is, you know. Let's see. I'm going to scroll back down here. By the time, right, if Jesus died for our sins, who died for cause and tan? I don't know. Cause and tan? I don't know. But I'm an atheist, so. Air fryer's next. My air fryer is most used appliance in the kitchen. It's got to be between the air fryer and the Instapot for me. It's got to be between those two. Gus, my family was legitimately worried that I was too thin when I was 195 to 5'9". That's fucking craziness. They all weigh 80 to 100 pounds more than me. That's fucking crazy. I mean, that's fucking insanity. It's how society's viewing shit, though. It's how society is viewing levels of health. Like, we view the average person as, like, healthy. Average is healthy, right? Well, we need to accept the fact that the average person in America is ill. The average person, like, we're probably over 50% obesity at this stage. The average person is sickly. The average person is sick. We need to get there. We absolutely do. Alan, what are your thoughts on eating whatever you want as long as you manipulate the ingredient profile, like turning a pizza pie into 350 calories for an entire pie with 30 grams of protein? I mean, I still think it's a lot of processed food you're eating. You know, it's a lot of processed food that you're eating just to eat something that reminds you of something else. You know, like, that's my thought process on it. It's still like you're still on the slope. You just start trying to get a better handhold on it. You know, like, I haven't had pizza in like a fucking year and a half. I don't miss it. Really don't. Like, it's doughy. It's, you know, what you're trying to do is get the doughy, bready stuff like that. When you're enjoying that, and then all of a sudden, like, when you're still used to eating that all the time in the healthy version, and it's not really that healthy because it's still processed as fuck. It just is. You know, when you're out, that's still an association of that food can be healthy for me now, and it can't be. Not out at least. Sin cause intent was a joke. My brain's not in the area of math jokes. So my bad. Have you cut out cooking oil? Have you cut oil out of your diet for cooking? No, I do use butter a lot still too, but I use beef fat. Like I render beef fat off the ground meat I prepare, and I use that a lot. So I don't necessarily use nut oils. I use other oils though too, because fat is not your enemy. So. But I use dairy fat and I use animal fat mostly. I don't use nut oils all that much. Even if I did, it would just be on a rare occasion. And like I said, and I say all the time, it is not about being the absolute healthiest you can be, because that's the next thing people say. People are like, "Oh my God, like, but you eat this or you do this." Like, I get people being like, "You talk about health, but you have tattoos." Okay. It doesn't change anything I say. One, two. It's just people get fucking weirded out about it. But no, I don't use nut oils all that much, but I still cook with oil. I don't think holidays need to be such a big thing. I'm sure these people are available. People are available all year round. As an adult, there's no need to jam your face with these people. Good point. Make a keto pizza using cauliflower as the crust, like I do. But why not just view it as something else? It's just a different vessel, that you're carrying it in. It's not really a pizza if it's not made on bread. Just there's no need to keep associating it that way. Is it sometimes better to lose weight really quickly if you are super overweight, or is slow and steady the best way? Here's the thing that people get messed up. Slow and steady is also a relative term. I think that 1% of your body mass a week is not a fucking necessarily hard thing to attain, or even 0.5. For instance, if everybody who was 300 pounds lost 0.5% of their body mass in a week, by now, if they weighed 300 pounds, by now at the beginning of the pandemic, they would weigh 200 pounds. They would have lost 100 pounds by 0.5%. So 0.5% of your body mass for a 400-pound person, that's 2 pounds a week. That would put you over the course of 80 weeks, that would put you at about 160 pounds. It would lower down, so it would work out to about 130 pounds. So you'd weigh about 270 pounds right now. Just how math works, right? So it depends on what you consider rapid, because what's rapid for a very large person would be way too much for a smaller person. But what is considered slow for a very large person is very rapid for somebody else. Like a 120 or 130-pound woman losing 4 pounds a week is a very big problem almost. Like, that's a lot of fucking weight loss in a fucking week. It really is. If it's fat loss, that's a fucking tremendous amount of fat loss in a fucking week for a woman. Especially a small woman like that. But if it's a 400-pound woman, 4 pounds of weight loss in a week, I mean, that should be kind of seen as the minimum, so it depends. Good question, though. I've been using fat-free cheese. The pizza has 5 grams of fat, 16 grams of carbs, and 30 grams of carbs. Estimated. You have no idea how much it actually has, just to be real. So, because those are all guesstimations. But I get what you're saying, but depending on how much you do it, it's still a matter of, you're still trying to make sure you eat pizza. It's the same thing when we get people that quit sugar, when they take a lot of sugar in, all of a sudden it becomes pineapple and banana everything. They basically sugar seek. So just keep it in mind that the holding on to the concept of you have to have pizza, if you like the flavors, I get it, but I hope you see what I'm saying here. I'm not knocking what you're doing at all. Trust me, I'm not knocking what you're doing at all. I am saying that it's people hold on to these things and will try to make different versions of it. Weight Watchers groups are full of people trying to find out how to eat cheesecake on 0 points. Just remember that, People need to stop making foods the center of everything. I completely agree. Why not focus on actually being around people? I completely agree. That's what the wife and I are doing. The wife and I have a new no electronics in the bedroom thing. We're just going to read and everything like that once we go into the bedroom to go to sleep. Last night was the first night we did it. I fucking thoroughly enjoyed it. And got probably the best sleep I've gotten in a long time. My waist is 28.5 inches, by the way, eating like this, but it probably still isn't as healthy as Alan is eating. I don't eat super healthy. I'm going to have a beverage tonight. Once a week, I have French fries or something else like that. I eat healthy for me. Healthy for me is avoiding my binges. You know, like healthy for me is like I eat a lot of steak, a lot of red meat. I eat a lot of fish, and I eat a lot of veggies. And then at night, I normally have something like I alternate between like I'll have an outright bar a couple times a week, and then I'll have yogurt with some protein powder a couple times a week, and then I'll have some sweet potatoes with butter and cinnamon a couple times a week. You know, I always make sure I normally have something sweet at the end of the day so I can keep my cravings at bay, so I can feel satiated. So I don't feel too restricted because I'm a binge. Like one of my binge triggers is if I feel too restricted, I binge. So it's one of those things where it's like I don't profess to eat super healthy ever. I'll go to this for a second. It's crazy how to think how hard people worked like 40, 50 years ago compared to now. Do jobs become easier? People just became way fucking weaker. So I think people need to just stop eating pizza. You should relate pizza to junk food. Pizza should be viewed as something just for pleasure. I really believe that. But people can do stuff just for pleasure. I still say that all the time too. The best thing I ever did was let go of the need certain foods. You don't need, you need protein and fat. That's what you need. That's what your body needs. You need proteins and fats. You do not need anything that tastes sweet, and you do not need anything with carbohydrates. You do not need it. You want it. You do not need it. I mean, I don't know very many people that need carbohydrates, that actually need to fuel activity, besides already lean, high performance athletes that work out a lot. So, why are you still on YouTube? Thought you quit just like your hair did in your 20s. It was the 30s, I think, like late 20s, early 30s that my hair quit, and I'm happy it did. I love myself bald. But I'm still here because there's 100 people watching me live right now and do questions. You're one of them because your unpaid intern bitch ass literally has me on recommended or literally has me on notification so you can check out anything I do. So have a good day. That's great. It definitely does help to not use electronics before bed. Oh, it's so fucking nice. Anyway, how do you deal with a doctor that won't let you get your labs quicker than every 6 to 8 months after having shown very high LDL levels? They're saying everything's fine because it was the first time. I would get a second opinion and go to a different doctor. Especially you're saying that your father died at the age of 49, you're 41. I would absolutely get a second fucking opinion. Absolutely. That's kind of fucking crazy. But the medical profession is literally showing to be very fucking horrible. I mean, this is one of the reasons why I love the medical profession. It's all about money and the ego of it all. So I would get a second opinion. Oven roasted yellow potatoes with garlic and herb seasoning. Oh, so good. So good. So good. I'd have that as my evening meal because the carbohydrates would probably trigger me to be a little bit hungry. And then possibly have like something later, maybe another sweet potato later or something like that. I don't know. I needed to see you today. I've fallen back. Thanks for the reminder. Jessica, we are running a special just in case you're wondering. Here's our 3-month coaching special. But even if you don't take me up on that, please do understand, always when you feel like you've fallen back, go back to the basics. How are you sleeping? How is your hydration? How is your stress handling? How's like your stress relief? How are you handling stress? Do you have stress mechanisms built up that you can do that are both physical and non-physical, home and not at home? Like always try to just go back to the basics. Are you eating a lot of processed food? If you are, drop back to eating just non-processed foods. Always go to the basics, right? See, when I was working away from home and ended up eating one 400-calorie Hungry Man meal a day for 14 days, working 15 hours a day, I dropped 20 pounds. Well, that's not very fucking healthy. I hope, especially because like that's just not a lot of food. My biggest worry about that would not be because of the weight loss, just to be real. My biggest concern about that would be one, how much you start. It depends on your weight, on weight you started at too, by the way. But that one meal, I hope you're taking a multivitamin 2 or something like that, because that's the fucking danger right there. I mean, you were malnutrition that way, whether you realize it or not. Just Karen, thank you for being on YouTube. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you for telling you help us all. I just wanted to shout you out, Alan, for saying the right things and get me back at it. Kashina, thank you very much. I appreciate you. I really do. And you got yourself back at it. I just fucking did the swearing. That's all. I've taken it upon myself to lose 25 pounds since I read the lab results. I would think that would be good too. We have issues. Somewhere you want to talk it out, dude? I fucking announce where the fuck I'm at all the time. Show up any fucking time. Great. I mean, that's the fucking weakest internet shit ever. I would announce where I was gonna fucking be. Like the other fucking month, I was literally open invitation to people at a fucking event I was at. So feel free, show up anytime you want, bitch. Great content, Alan. Everything is rational and sensible advice that somebody needs. Thank you very much. Fat is not healthy. Very good. What advice would you give your younger self? That you don't need to be the super strong guy in the gym, but I don't think I'd change a fuck thing. My life is very fucking awesome. I'm married to the woman of my fucking dreams. We spend 24/7 together. I love my family. Very happy with my life. I don't think I'd change a fuck thing about my life. You know, I would be more worried about going back into the past and fucking my present up. I really would. So I would never want to do anything that would fucking jeopardize the way my life is now with my wife. Ever. Great stream, Alan. Is there a particular rep range a person should stay at when in fat loss is the focus? No. Do consistency of activity that you're enjoying. There's no rep range for fat loss. None. Does protein at 45% cause cancer? No. That's fucking ridiculous. What are your thoughts on extended fast and like Cole Robinson? He's a fucking joke. He is dangerous. To tell people to dry fast is one of the fucking more ignorant things I've ever fucking heard about. So I think he is not. I haven't watched his content in years. I just remember the dry fasting shit. Extended fasts should be done under doctor supervision. I mean, most people do it very poorly. It's how they malnourish themselves. It's one of the problems with food addiction is that you still need to eat food. You still need nourishment. I think it's ridiculous. Anyway, that's actually a great question to ask about protein. I wonder what Alan thinks. 45. So what is 45% protein to you? Like the numbers are what's stupid. Okay, like 45% protein for one person is how many grams? 45% protein for another person is how many grams? Like how often is it? How often is it digested? What type of protein is it? Blah blah blah. This is how people fucking convince people that certain things are bad for them. You know what's bad? You know what will cause cancer? Obesity. Obesity is more related to 13 different types of cancer than smoking. Okay, obesity results in 35% of all cancer cases. All cancer cases. That's the thing. Like people look for these like excuses about not being fit. I don't want to eat too much protein. I don't want to get cancer. Motherfucker, you're 300 pounds. You're fucking going to get cancer at some point in time probably, or diabetes, or something like that because you're in a hyperinflamed state. That's it. So, what are your thoughts about collagen powder? Like what you'd add to coffee water? I take in any protein extras, any protein powders, any protein whatever that I take in. I view them as something for pleasure because most of the time they're normally sweet, and I don't rely on them for my protein. I rely on animal protein for my protein because it's natural. It's non-processed. I'd love to see one of those. I mean, dude, I've been at this for fucking years. Not once ever. You want to find some place to talk about it? If you were fucking serious, you would have already shown the fuck up. I mean, for real. People are stupid. You know, I mean, what the fuck's wrong with you? You know, who's more healthy? A person who eats a lot of healthy food, or a person who eats bad foods in moderation? A person who eats lots of healthy food. Highly inflammatory foods are highly inflammatory foods. Now, is there going to be different? What do you mean by moderation? Like moderation to keep a person that stays at a moderate weight by only eating unhealthy foods is going to be malnourished also. They're going to be malnourished and they're still eating highly inflammatory foods. So they're going to be inflamed and malnourished. A person that eats lots of healthy foods will likely have more energy and just maybe can work out more. A person that eats the bad foods is not going to feel like working out. Their hormones are going to be crashed. They're fucking going to be bad. We should eat food. The thing is, the bad food you're referring to is not actually food. They're food products. We should eat food. That's one of the things I always find amazing. People get upset with me when my biggest suggestion is that they actually eat food. People get upset. I did this thing for 15 days to slow the spread of obesity that a few other dumbass motherfuckers have copied. I see you bitches. Weak ass pieces of shit. Weak ass motherfuckers. Anyway. But And the suggestion is just to not eat processed foods. Eat only thing you can cook on a grill, basically, for 15 fucking days. Don't eat sugar. Don't eat processed flour. Don't eat any processed foods. Steamed vegetables, steamed vegetables, fruits, and meats, and grilled meats. Eat that for 15 days. I don't even talk about the quantity in it. People balk at that because they're so freaked out because they're so addicted to this shit. That's the fucking problem. Carbs get a bad rap because of sugars and refined carbs, pizzas, candies, chocolates. Carbs are unnecessary, but they do get a bad rap. Vegetable carbohydrates get a bad rap, but processed carbohydrates deserve the rap they get. Processed carbohydrates should be eaten only for pleasure. I've fallen off over the past 6 months and have gotten back to working on my nutrition, have cut out Cokes and alcohol in the past 6 weeks and already getting back to the gym. And pleasurable activities, feeling great. Glad to hear this morning. That is awesome. Good fucking job. Stay at it. Keep the processed carbohydrates down, especially if you're drinking your fluids. If you're drinking your calories, do not do that. That's the thing. We were talking about this drug Wegovy, by the way. Wegovy is a higher dosage of semaglutide. Semaglutide has a black box label, by the way, for tumor growth that we're now going to give people at a higher dose. Anyway, it's for weight loss, right? And it shows that they'll lose like 15% up to like almost 40 pounds over the course of 68 weeks, depending on the weight they start at, right? 40 pounds over 68 weeks. If you drink 20 ounces of soda, 20 ounces of Coca-Cola a day, consistently every day, change that to water and you'll lose 40 pounds in 68 weeks. Because 20 ounces of soda is about 400 calories of all sugar. Cut that in the water and guess what? You'll lose 40 pounds over the course of fucking 68 weeks. Just to change that. Instead of paying $1,300 fucking dollars a month for this drug, that then when you go off, by the way, which you have to go off, you cannot use it long term because it has massive side effects if you use it long term. When you go off, you're likely going to gain the weight back. If you just change one life behavior of if you drink 20 plus ounces of soda in a day to changing that to water, you'd lose the same amount of weight probably. Literally. You can save yourself $2 in soda a day and lose the same weight instead of paying $1,300 a month. Fucking silliness. Silly, silly, silly. And thank you for your videos that helped me with my eating disorders, and now I've been healthy BMI for 2 years. Judy, thank you very much. Thank you, great fucking job. Great fucking job. I grew up in the 90s, the egg cholesterol debate. Where do you fall in it? I eat fucking eggs, dude. Eat eggs. So I'll eat up to six or whatever eggs a day. Eat eggs. Eggs are still better than Big Macs any fucking day. Jesus. I travel regularly when I'm gone for days with a group of guys. They only want to eat fast food while we're on the road. What's the best way to avoid eating junk like this when traveling? Well, you can still try to get the healthiest option. I oftentimes, if we have to go through fast food, it's the only option. Like I'll stop at an Arby's and just get a tub of meat. It's still not the best meat because it's very high sodium, a very high processed meat. But why don't you just see if hey, why don't we stop in at a Walmart or something like that? It's probably in the same parking lot as the fucking fast food place you're going into. Walk into their deli section, grab a fucking rotisserie chicken that's probably pre-prepared or something off their deli thing, and it gives everybody the option of what they want to eat for about the same amount of time frame it takes you to actually just sit in the fucking line for them to gather a big order, and then they tell you to pull around and wait in a fucking spot. So suggest that. There are thin people out here who eat 3 to 5 candy bars a day. They aren't overweight, but they are very unhappy and they're very sickly too. Like that's not healthy for you at all. It's really not. Let's talk about it at your home. Fucking weirdo. In my home. Fucking, you're a weird ass motherfucker. Yeah, it is. Really, you should run for office within the Department of Health, but isn't that a bad standard of public health is controlled by all these billions? If people can't tell that the pharmaceutical industry is kind of in charge of healthcare right now, you should wake the fuck up. You should wake the fuck up. What do you think so many people are all or nothing when it comes to their healthier lifestyle? because I think a lot of people are very addicted to the foods they grew up with. That we are literally, I mean, we're in a stage in society where many people that come to us to help them get healthy have never been healthy. They've never eaten healthy in their entire lives. They've never, ever, ever once like been at a healthy weight. Like we have a client that just lost they've lost like 100 and some pounds right now, and they finally went under 250 pounds. And I asked them when was the last time that they weighed under 250 pounds, and they said they couldn't remember. Probably sometime when they were like 8 or 9. Like that's literally how we are. Like where we're at in society right now. People have grown up unhealthy. You know. See, I can't wait to recommend your coaching program to my boyfriend's brother. He's in his mid-40s and quite obese. He knows he needs to make a change. Please do, and that special only stays open for just a few more, like probably another couple days until the slots fill. That's the fucking thing. Is the Illuminati behind today's obesity? No, weaknesses. Weak people. That's dude. Weakness. People trying to make money who read. There's no there's no great conspiracy about fucking getting people fat. Okay, I don't believe there is. I could be wrong in fucking whatever dimension this might be, but there's no great conspiracy behind it. It's people trying to make money off of people that consume the most. Okay, like it is not an Illuminati thing or anything like that to fucking say that these people are making money off of obese people. Obese people consume more gasoline in their cars because it takes more to move their fat asses around. Obese people consume more food, obviously, because they're obese. Obese people consume more clothing because they need more material, and they'll raise the prices of all clothing. They definitely consume more healthcare, and healthcare is a fucking business. They consume more meds. They consume more time. They take more equipment. They take more stuff. Everything. So it is not some sort of big fucking plot. It is literally money. That's what I mean. That's fucking it. Period. My wife has struggles with PCOS. Let's just say all her life. But after our third and final son, she wanted to finally lose the weight. It is going very slow. I've been training and dieting for years and years, and getting her to understand calories, inverse calories out was difficult. Are there any tips to help increase the weight loss of someone with PCOS, or should it just be continue pushing along? It is going to be a slow and steady pace normally, depending on her level of PCOS. I don't know if she's being medically managed or not via her doctor, but some things, some of the insulin resistance is stuff to look out for too, because that can obviously lead to making it much harder, much harder for fucking people to lose weight. There are a few other things, but I can't. I mean, if you can control the amount of processed food you're taking in, if you can control your blood sugar levels, that does help out with that too, to a great degree. But she should get checked out by her doctor if she's having a hard time losing weight. If they just say it's because you have PCOS, then she should say, well, what are you going to fucking do about it? I'm 200 pounds for the first time since I was a teenager. I'm still obese at 5'9" though. Glad I woke up. Good for you. Great fucking job. That being said, I do enjoy some vegan recipes. So do I. I fucking love vegan recipes. And I tell you what, beans in the Instapot are fucking amazing. It's so fucking crazy. So fucking good. My brother was and is north of 300 pounds. He says he's lost 40 pounds. That's great for him. I'm from Iceland, and this isn't an insult for obese people. I've noticed that people are quite a bit larger than Icelanders. Is it the cold climate, perhaps? You've noticed that people are quite a bit bigger than Icelanders. No, it's not. I don't think so. I do not believe so. When people / friends suggest that we all eat fast food, I usually push towards a non-chain place. That's a great idea too. Can you tell me some ways to naturally speed up my metabolism for supplements? Exercise consistently, get good sleep, get good hydration. That will speed up your metabolism. And technically, your metabolism will slow down a little bit more as you lose weight. Like your metabolism right now, you're burning a bunch of calories because you weigh X amount plus your basal metabolic rate, right? As you lose weight, you burn less calories, even though if you can be more active and burn more calories, but you'll burn less calories via activity, and you'll burn less calories via your just natural basal metabolic rate, which is why people need to get a hold of their food. They need to get a hold of their nutrition. And there's obese people get to buy 2 plane tickets. And if they take up 2 seats, they fucking should. They absolutely fucking should. So I think it's much better we meet up at your house and talk it out. Dude, show up. Yeah, you take it to the next level. Show the fuck up, motherfucker. That would be you would regret that shit. A year ago, I could eat an entire burger. Fucking somebody online says, hey, I'm going to show up at your house. And then shows up at my house in Florida. Stay in your ground state. Okay. Dude, that's very fucking bad. A year ago, I could eat an entire burger and fries. After a year of healthy eating, I can hardly eat this much without feeling horrible. Have you experienced this? Absolutely. One of the best things you can do as you're losing weight, too, is even though you're eating healthier foods, take your largest meal of the day, and I got to wrap it up soon because I actually have a seminar. I got an online seminar I got to teach here in about 30 minutes. But as you are, what was I saying? Oh, as you're eating your largest meal of the day, eat 75% of that meal, and then stop. Leave 25% on the plate. Drink some water. Drink about 10 to 20 ounces of water. Wait 20 minutes to see if you're actually satiated. If you feel satiated, if you can honestly say you feel satiated, put that extra 25% of that plate up. If you get hungry later, go ahead, feel free to eat that 25%. But if you don't, you can save that as a snack for later and or as leftover for the next day. The idea behind this is most of us, as we're losing weight, we've gotten to the point where not only do we eat not very healthy foods, but we eat large portions of food. So the portion of food that we're eating of even healthy food can be a little bit more than what we actually need to be satiated. We're just eating a little past the point of satiation without realizing it, and that just causes the extra calories and everything like that. A lot of times, people don't realize that they eat well past the point of satiation because they eat so fast, and they're used to eating very, very quickly in life. So it's just a way to slow it down a little bit and check out your portion sizes. That's one of the best things I can tell people at the very end is try to just eat 75%, then wait 20 minutes after drink some fluid, wait 15 to 20 minutes, talk to people, everything like that. And then if you're still hungry, go ahead and eat the rest of that 25% of that healthy meal. But if you're not, then the next time you cook that meal, you can make a smaller portion size of it. And then you can test it out again to see where you're at. And normally what happens is, the weird thing is there's been some meals I've eaten where it's like, wow, I'm pretty sure this meal is going to make me, if I only eat 75% of it, I'll be very hungry. And I've been very satiated 20 minutes later. So it's just like an eye-opening thing, especially if it's a meat-heavy dish. I can still ingest a ton of food all at one time. Like I could eat 2 pounds of steak in one fucking sitting without a fucking issue, pretty much. So, but a much smaller portion than 2 pounds satiates me. So, who said the controls are hot for you? I know, fucking crazy people, right? And depends on how obese I could fit on one plane seat at 250. Oh yeah, I mean, like just because if they actually use the space is what I'm talking about. Hey, sorry, I'm kind of late. Which kind of milk should I drink? Because I don't know which one's the healthiest. Water. Water is the best kind of milk to drink. Water is absolutely the best kind of, like, don't drink calories. You don't need them. You just don't. I don't drink them. You don't need milk. You don't. You don't need it at all. I put a little cheese on food once a day, just literally for flavoring. You don't need milk. You don't need to drink any calories. You do not need to drink any calories. So the best kind of milk to drink is water. If obesity in the U.S. was low, the deaths would go or lower, even lower. But probably. And to be real, obesity in the last, since the beginning of 2020 has killed anywhere from 750 to 800,000 people in America. It kills 350 to 400,000 people a year, just obesity, not considering the things that obesity leads to. Like cardiovascular disease is still the #1 killer in the fucking country, and 80% of all cardiovascular disease is avoidable by lifestyle change. Type 2 diabetes, which we're going to have the massive wave of type 2 diabetes in the next couple of years is going to be fucking crazy. It's going to be unreal. But the wave of type 2 diabetes that's going to kill people, 90% of all that is avoidable by lifestyle change. Hypertension. So many things can be made better by lifestyle change and not being obese. So obesity by itself has killed anywhere from 750 to 800,000 people in the course of the last 2 years. So just a huge death toll all by itself. Yet alone, it even making the deaths of certain viruses higher, because it's very clear that this is a virus and a pandemic of the obese and elderly. It's very clear, you know. I work from 3 to 10, 5 days a week, and I get 20K steps in. Is that time? In that time, all while carrying heavy things, I maintain 190 pounds at 5'11", 3,500 calories a day of all whole food, but but I'm literally always hungry. You know, I think that if you switched, pushed more a little bit on protein, I don't know, because I don't know what you're eating. You're saying whole foods, but I don't know what you eat. But like push a little bit more on protein, that might actually satiate you a little bit more. But it sounds to me like if you're doing 20,000 steps while carrying heavy shit, that's pretty much working out for fucking, like you would have what would be considered a very active job. So if you're maintaining the 190 pounds, I would suggest you maybe try to mix things up in the mix of your food. Maybe go a little more protein and healthy fat, heavy, and reduce the carbs down, just to see if at the same caloric level you can feel a little bit more satiated. How am I doing? I'm doing fucking great. Thank you very, very, very much. I mean, what's funny? It's funny. I mean, I'm sorry, but that shit's fucking funny. I've noticed that diet foods don't ever fill me up, but a solid whole foods fill you up. They absolutely do. A lot better, lots better. Oh, okay, yeah. And like I said, guys, I got about another 5 minutes, and I got to cut off. I have a seminar I got to teach at 12:30. Let's see. While we still got everybody on here, I did want to remind everybody we have our 3-month coaching special going on right now. We do have several slots open. My wife and I talk to people daily on our app, weekly video conference calls. We can put your workouts right on the app. You can do them right from the app. We have weekly video conference calls where we discuss homework for the week. We discuss how the week went in the last week. We help a person change their lifestyle bit by bit by bit. And this is our gluttony season special. So if the holiday season is already scaring you, if you're worried about gaining that 20 or 40 pounds, it puts you into the heart attack range, or it's going to give you type 2 diabetes, we can help you out with that shit. So please do check that out. Let's go, Brandon. Let's go, Brandon. Oh, shit. The goal here is to not feel hungry. That is the goal. Hunger management is the key. As long as you cannot feel hungry, if you are eating foods that are making you hungrier, such as things with added sugar and processed carbohydrates, and even for some people, just carbohydrates, vegetable-based carbohydrates and fruits, eat them later in the fucking day. I'm telling you, if you do anything else, eat them later in the fucking day. Consider anything that tastes sweet a dessert and have that at the end of your fucking day, even if it is fruit. Have it at the end of your day. You'll be less hungry all day long. Focus early on protein and healthy fat. Try no carbohydrates for your first meal at all. Just try keto just for your first meal and see how well it satiates you. And then you can feel free to eat carbohydrates later, you know? Let's see. Melissa, obesity-related deaths don't get the attention or the news. Nope, because they want people consuming. People got all of a sudden, actually, if they saw how bad obesity was for everybody's health and society and the healthcare system, they would be like, oh shit, we got to do something about this. But they don't want to lose out on that McDonald's money or that big pharma money or that big sugar money. Shit, we subsidize the sugar industry through taxpayer dollars in America by $4 billion a year. Why the fuck are we subsidizing sugar, which is a drug in my opinion? Why are we subsidizing that with our tax dollars by $4 billion a year? It's fucking ridiculous. Let's see. Damn. Obese beta male said true. I don't know, but you're saying true too because there's a time lag here. LGB. What? My husband and I are getting into winter hikes. That's awesome. I love hiking. Fruit salad and a little Cool Whip is such a satisfying dessert. Absolutely is. That reminds me of something my grandmama used to make. This man is one of the only people in the fitness industry that don't BS you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Alan Roberts, what do you think about Anthony Dream Johnson? I don't know enough to fucking speak on it. Just to be real. I don't know enough about to speak on them, and therefore I don't speak. Let's see. And I got to wrap it up. Like I said, guys, I was looking for a couple last questions. Any foods that can help with anxiety? Yes, non-processed ones. Sugar will definitely add to your anxiety. Absolutely. Here in Belgium, there's new mask mandates. I'm sorry to hear that. In Florida, in the free state of Florida, there's not going to be any. Oh, let's go, Brandon, because it could have been LGB, like lesbian, gay, bi. But definitely, let's go, Brandon. And I'm all for LGB too. Like, you do you. For real, I don't judge at all. I've noticed in the U.S., telling a fat person to go to the gym is bad and invasive, but telling somebody to go to therapy is okay. What are your thoughts on this? It seems people think mental health is greater than physical health. I think that mental health still has a rather large stigma in the United States, and it shouldn't. I think that it's something that we ignore a great deal with. We obviously have a very clearly mentally ill society for a great portion because we do have an obese society, and obesity is oftentimes linked to whether it's the chicken before the egg, you can see it, but obesity often leads to neuroinflammation, which leads to cognitive disorders and stuff like that. But it also is there's lots and lots and lots of data to say that people that are obese have eating disorders. It's disorder. If you're 300 pounds, you have disordered eating, at least. Like you have eaten in a function that has made you ill. That's disordered eating. So we should focus on it way, way, way more. But I am a big advocate in saying you cannot be mentally well when you treat your body poorly. Like if you are still going through the stages and the steps of treating your body in such a way that's going to keep you ill and or make you more ill, that is not mentally healthy in of itself, and that has to be accepted. Like people need to understand that true mental health needs to start with treating your body in a way that's going to make it healthy, because if not, it is self-harm. Keeping yourself morbidly obese with any excuse is in a way self-harm, period. To me, at least, Anyway, takeaways, put 25 meals back, eat fruits, end of the day, and sugar can cause anxiety. Very good. I like it. Physical health and mental health are definitely linked. Absolutely. Bro, I'll hit you up on Facebook and we'll find some time. Sure we will. You fucking weirdo. So. Even Ivan, I just beat the bag. Good for you. Good for you. Yeah, no shit. Weird ass motherfucker. Anyway, guys, I do have a seminar I got to teach. It's noon. I got to prepare. I got 30 minutes. Please, one more time, for those of you that didn't already check it, we do have a coaching special going on. So if you need help getting your shit together during these holiday months, that is a radically reduced price for our coaching. It's daily communication via our app, weekly video conference calls, and we will help you adjust your lifestyle bit by bit by bit by teaching you the skills so you can then adjust your lifestyle as your life evolves and changes after you're done with coaching. Because to me, that is what true coaching is about, teaching people the skills they need to be able to make themselves healthy and prosperous and like that, instead of just telling you what food to eat, what diet to have, and how many reps to do. We teach you the skills, how you can identify and build this shit upon yourselves instead of just like trying to have customers for life, because I just don't believe in that. So I hope all of you had a fucking good time. Thank you very much for joining me, and I'll try to go live much more often this coming up week. We've been very busy, but this week I think we'll be able to manage it. So, goddamn.